Good evening, everyone. It is a little bit past 6:30, so we're going to get started and honor your time tonight. We want to welcome each and every one of you to our 2021 Fall Sports Program. Tonight is the night to recognize all of our accomplishments from this fall, from our student athletes of our 5 sports. We do ask that you stick around towards the end. Trevor Dallas has put on a very good highlight video. It's about 12 minutes long. That's at the end of the program. So we do ask that you do stay for that, because that is a pretty good production by Trevor and Mrs. Graff. Just a reminder, we will have our spring program later in the spring, where we will recognize our winner in spring academic all-state students, our 12 sport athletes, our Jack Logan and Dutch Zorn Award winners as well. Tonight, as you can see on the table, we did have a very successful fall season based on the plaques that we have. 2 of the bigger ones, obviously, we take a lot of pride in. Just recently, our volleyball team was C1-8 district champions and qualified for the state tournament for the first time in school history. Next to that is a district runner-up of our softball team. They were C7 district runner-up. And although we don't get a trophy for this, our boys cross country team placed 5th at state in Class C. There will be many more things talked about by each of our coaches tonight, so we'll let the rest of those take place when they are called up to top. All right, please bear with me on a lot of thank yous. We do have a number of them that are in general and then sports specific. First of all, to all these athletes out here for competing to the best of your ability this fall. You guys displayed a lot of character in class, win or lose. We appreciate all your hard work, your grit, and your commitment that you displayed as part of the SWEET program. I do look forward to watching you build up the successes this winter and this spring of the sports that you choose to participate in. Next in line is the parents, for those of you that are out here, those of you who are watching on the live stream, for your continued support for all of our home and away games, and to give us your great student athletes to work with, and you should be proud of all their efforts this fall. And over here to my right, to our coaches, we have an outstanding group of coaches here that put our students in the best situation to be successful. These guys and gals are well respected across the state, and they're exceptional role models for our student athletes. I appreciate all the hard work, the commitment, and dedication that you gave to your programs this fall. Now for sports specific to the softball, Coley Harrison and Corey Beechall, these guys put in a lot of time to do our fields for all of our games and practices. And I don't know if Corey can kind of tell us how many hours he puts in, but I think it'd be an eye-opener as far as how many hours they put in to do that, so I appreciate it. And also to Noah Day and the city of Gothenburg for the use of the fourplex. Those people did an outstanding job of keeping the grounds mowed and everything around there, and so it looked very nice this fall. The girls golf, Tony Collins and staff for the use of the golf course for the multiple meets that we hosted this fall. And also to Tony for cross country. We do host a big cross country invite out there that's about 28 teams and lots of people out there. After the 3 inches of rain we had the night before, I was a little weary of having it, and they let us host our invite out there. So it was a great day, and I appreciate that. And also all the volunteers that helped with the meet. To volleyball, all the table help, which includes the score clock, the scorebook, the little Rivero tracker, and the most important people, the line judges, that helped at our home games and our district finals. Football, our chain gang members, press box crew, Aaron Solomon, Craig Johnson, Landon Hakey, and all the EMTs for the help and attendance during our home football games. To our cheerleaders, all the cheerleaders, Mrs. Peterson and Morgan Weaver for the continued support at home and away games. To our pep band and all the pep band members and Mrs. Welch for their support at home games. To Jesse Kinchlow, Les Hardy for keeping the football field in tip-top condition. To our custodians, these are kind of our unsung heroes. So head coaches, if you would please come up and award your NCPA academic all-state people with their medal and certificate. These are nominated. They have to be a varsity player. They have to have a 3.7 GPA and a 4-point scale. They need to play a significant role in the team as well. And we only get to nominate 2 per activity. As you are called, please come up here and stand and wait until everyone has been introduced. For girls golf, Ellery Harm and Jada Rubalcaba. For softball, Chloe DeHarsh and Tasia Holbein. Stay up here and we'll have one big picture of everyone who's been introduced. For girls cross country, Arissa Ackerman and Shania Weir. Boys cross country, Ethan Olson and Isaiah Erman. Football, Sean Grapp and Bronson Long. And volleyball, Emily Cornwell and Carly Jensen. Congratulations for being excellent student athletes in the classroom and in your respective activity. At this time, we'll begin with our coaches as they hand out their awards for their respective sports. If you are a first-time letter winner, there are deeds up here behind. We can grab those after we are completed tonight. So first-time letter winners, you'll get the chenille letter. At this time, I'll turn it over to Coach Schaefer to present the Summer Lifter of the Year Award.
Let's go!
All right, let's get this started. First, I want to say thanks to the parents for putting your faith in me and getting to work with your kids and pushing your kids to show up in the weight room. It was a pleasure getting to see them grow all summer and push themselves and their teammates. And just thank you for raising a great bunch of kids. Give them a round of applause for their hard work this summer. So before I go with the award for overall lifters of the summer, I first want to identify all Cardinal members. To be a Cardinal member, we raised up the bar this year. Instead of last year, we went with 70%. This year, we went up another 5%, so we said 75% or more of an attendance get you to be a part of this. So for females, first, we'll let ladies go first. Cardinal members, starting with seniors, Carly Jensen, and Kaylee Gilligan. Juniors, Emily Cornwell, Ellery Harm, Emily Ross, Kenley Strasser, Sarah Stoyak, Addie Wyatt. Sophomores, Clara Everett, Laila Healy, Logan Hilbers, Aubrey O'Hare, Ashlyn Richardson, Addison Streeter, and Ava Wires. Freshmen, Manny Cornwell, Joey Holland, Brianna Houchin, Isabel Jordan, Taylor Garza, Taryn O'Hare, Callie Strasser, and Claire Benson. smile for a Cardinal picture here for the girls.
Can you have them scoot that way out of that?
Make 2 rows. I mean, way faster. Go.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, just a second. Just wait. Whoa, I got something else. If I call your name, I want you to stay up on the stage, please. Carly Jensen, Emily Cornwell, Ellery Harm, Addie Wyatt, Claire Everett, Logan Hilbers, Ashley Richardson, Addison Streeter, Maddie Cornwell. Of these girls, of the Cardinal Winners, they had perfect attendance. They attended every session that we held, and they get a medal for their perfect attendance. All right, for the boy Cardinal Winners, seniors, Sean Graff, Trevor David, Jake Kojal, Bronson Long, Carson Rhodes, Maddox Dickerson, J.J. Smith. Juniors, Jake Burge, Bennett Guyton, Wes Guyton, Trevor Gallus, Zach Harper, Kai Jorgensen, Sean Mikes, Trey Rossell, Zach Smith. Sophomores, Braden Anderson, Cole Atkinson, Parker Graves, Tucker Keith, Cooper Kane, Trey Stevens, Caleb Small. Freshmen, Asher Bartlett, Caden Carlson, Jackson Dong, Carson Farr, Dylan Mikes, Caden Niels, Preston Nichols, Ryan Tiller, Casey Walgren, and Max White. All right, gentlemen, you probably have to make 3 rows to get this picture.
Take a knee, boys. There you go. You guys don't like that worse? There you are, Wes. Hey.
All right, follow suit like you did the girls. If your name's called, stay up here. Sean Graff, Carson Rhodes, Maddox Rickerson, Bennett Guyton, Trey Rossell, Cole Atkinson, Tucker Key, Cooper King, Caleb Kamala, Asher Bartlett, Kate Niels, Preston Nichols, and Max White. These fellas also had perfect attendance. No, they didn't take a picture for you or the medal match. All right, folks. I think we're good. And for Lifters of the Summer Award, first, thanks Cinder Mates for allowing us to have a plaque up to where we can allow it to be every year. We can have a plaque that tells us who it was, and they can be able to remember and be part of the club. It's pretty special to be able to hand this out. I'll admit, I twisted and turned a lot with a lot of kids. Started probably with both boys and girls, probably 12, 15 kids in mind. And it came down to attendance, effort, leadership, and accountability of holding others accountable, and also what they saw for gains in the weight room. And I think for all four kids, both 2 for girls and 2 for boys, you saw it with their teams in either their performance or how they helped others be successful in being supporters of their team. So without further ado, for your girl lifters of the summer, Emily Cornwell and Clara Everett. For the boys, a repeat, Sean Graff, and a newcomer, Cooper Kane.
Before handing out awards, I'd just like to give a quick recap of the 2021 golf season. This year we had a mixture of 13 girls, some who were experienced with the game and some who were just eager to learn how to play and everything about it. At the beginning of the season, we really focused on the motto of play the course, not your opponent. In the game of golf, it truly is the course that's testing your ability and overall mindset during the competition. The ladies we started the year off at the Party Catholic Invitational, where we placed 6th as a team. Ellery Harm was the lone medalist, finishing 10th overall. Jado Rubalcava just missed a 15th place finish by just a few strokes. Our second invite of the year was held at the York Country Club, where we faced some very talented golfers from the east side of the state. Ellery Harm played lights out and snagged the 5th place medal, while the team placed 6th overall. Maddie Cornwell and Addie Bartels both stepped in as freshmen and competed in their first 18-hole tournament at a very difficult course. We claimed 4th place as a team at the Broken Bow Invitational, just missing a top 3 finish by a few strokes. Ellery Harm was 8th place medalist, while both Jada and Sophia Aiden just missed the top 15. The Swedes faced tough competition at the Lexington Invitational, where they shot a team score of 435. Sophia, Maddie, and Jada all PR'd at this invite against some of the best competition we've had in our conference. We shot a team score of 434 at the Gothenburg invite. Ellery led the team, just missing out on a top 15 finish. Our JV players also played and got some experience on an 18-hole tournament. The Dawson County invite was then hosted at Crown PR'd, and so did Sarah Saunders. This year, the Southwest Conference meet was held in Gothenburg, where the ladies Swedes finished 6th overall. The Swedes were just short of taking home individual medals. The girls contributed in this meet were Ellery Harm, Jada Rubalcava, Maddie Cornwell, Sophia Aiden, Emma Peterson, and Addie Bartels. Districts were held at Holders this year, which was a new course that was never played. We faced a lot of tree-lined fairways, and we found a lot of water. Overall, they gave it their all, but we just couldn't put it all together when it came down to the grind. However, this group of girls are all young and full of grit. They are eager to have another chance at the state meet next year. We have already put a game plan together to come back better and stronger as a team. So overall, our girls made tremendous gains throughout the year, and they improved as individuals. Ladies, I want to thank you for showing up every day at practice and putting the time and effort into it. Golf isn't the easiest game you can play. So I would like to congratulate you all on a job well done. If I could have all of the golfers come to the stage at this time. Okay, we would like to first off start with recognizing our 2021 letter winners. First off is Ellery Harm. Emma Peterson. Jada Rubalcava. Sophia Aiden. Addie Bartels. And Maddie Cornwell. Congratulations. And I think if you're a first-time letter winner, we'll get the letters at the end. Now we go on to our team award winners. These were chosen by the girls on the golf team. Our first up goes to most valuable player, and that's Ellery Harm. Ellery showed up with much perseverance during this golf season, overcoming the role of playing the #1 spot for the ladies Swedes and finding her confidence in her own game. Through many coachable moments and pep talks on the course and in that practice, Ellery started to play to her full potential and really started believing in herself as a player. She medaled in 5 of the 9 invitations and matched up with some of the best players in the district. So congratulations. is Most Improved Player was Bethany Duffy. Bethany's work ethic and practice and drive to better herself as an individual player really played out throughout the season. Her quiet demeanor and focus helped her to master new skills on the court. Great job. Next comes up Best Individual Performance goes to Jada Lulapala. Jada is a player who can keep her composure when playing with tough competition. She has the mindset and ability to compete with the best of them. Her lowest round of the season and PR was at her own Unk Invite. So congratulations to her. This next award is the Got Grit Award, and this goes to Emma Peterson. Her outstanding performance, positive growth mindset, and passion for the game of golf, she continued to push herself to get better and gather her confidence as a player. The next one goes for Teammate Award, and that goes to Maddie Cornwell. Maddie always comes to practice with a positive outlook and smile on her face. She shows up to practice every day to work hard, to become better, and never misses a beat when she encourages others on her team. Great job, Maddie. Overall, I'd like to give a huge thank you to these girls standing on this stage tonight. For all of you who stuck with Coach O and I, who gave your 100% at practice every day and cheered on your teammates. It takes each and every one of you to make a successful golf program. So I thank all of you. I'd also like to thank Coach O for putting the time and effort to help build the girls' golf program. I couldn't do it without her. Having this many girls at a golf course, you need all the hands that you can have. Mr. Ronchek for helping us out during the golf season, the staff at Wildflowers Golf Course for letting us play out there, admin and teachers for understanding how much time golf takes out of the school day. We have some very talented and very smart kiddos up here. They work hard to get their grades up and do a great job. Parents, for all of your support, we can't thank you enough, and willingness to help out with this team. Thanks for a successful golf season for all of you. And up next, after this, so round of applause. Teacher. Yes. All right, next up is cross country, Coach Mills.
All right, good evening. First of all, I would like to again give a congratulations to all of our fall sport athletes. I was privileged to be able to attend a lot of events from volleyball, football, obviously the cross country meets, softball. Sorry, golfers, I wasn't able to make it out to the meets and practice, but I was very impressed with everything that I saw across the board. I think we've got a lot of tremendous kids in the school who work hard every single day, and their work definitely shows. So let's give them one more big round of applause. I'd also like to thank our administrative team, again, for the support, not just for my sport, but for everything that we go to here at Sweets. Every event that I attended, I saw several administrators at, and it's always good to see that we're getting support from them as well. Thank you, cross-country parents. I couldn't do this without your support. The team dinners that you provided for, the water that you donated for race days, of course, your support at the races, cheering kids on, even when it's 100 degrees out and they're having a difficult time. It's always nice to look over and see somebody that's there yelling for you. And then, of course, Coach Reese for all the help that he gave this year, being a retired teacher and not having to be here. His passion for the kids is very evident, and his willingness to be here every day, except for tonight. He must be helping at the campground tonight. But again, I appreciate all the help that I get from everybody. And parents, thank you for letting me work with your kids. And especially thanks to the athletes, especially the seniors, the years of hard work that you put in, the dedication and commitment to this team and this program. we'll miss you greatly. So again, seniors, thank you for everything. Just a couple of quick season highlights. We had a lot of improvements this year. Our program has been one that is slowly growing, over the last couple of years, we've made a lot of tremendous gains, both boys and girls. Our very first meet of the year was actually postponed or canceled due to weather. We showed up and warmed up, and then the lightning rolled in, and so we didn't get a chance to start, which was pretty disappointing after putting in months and months and months of practice. The kids were ready to go, and so that was a little disheartening. But we got trial by fire at our very first opportunity to run. That was the Unk Invite. Just to give you an idea of how tough that meet was, on the boys' side, 5 out of the 6 teams that were there ended up being state qualifiers, and 3 of them were top 10 teams in the state. So we ended up at the very first meet for boys, 3rd out of the 6 teams there, and girls ended up 5th out of 6, with 4 of those teams being state qualifying teams as well. So a great way to start. Our first big invitational was Broken Bow. There were 13 schools represented. Our boys ended up coming out in 2nd place, which was a good indicator of where we were headed. We were very happy with that outcome. The girls ended up 6th out of 13. Another highlight for us was the Unk Invite. This was really a state meet preview. 37 schools were represented at that invite. Our boys were able to end up 6th place out of 37 schools, and our girls ended up 13th at that meet. And so, again, we were very ecstatic about our performance on a very tough course. And then we rolled into our championship season, Southwest Conference. Again, when you look at the Southwest Conference in cross country, there were several teams that were top 5 at the state meet. We had an individual champion in Class D from the Southwest Conference. We had a runner-up from the Southwest Conference in the Class C girls. And so our conference by far and away is one of the toughest in the state. And so our boys ended up 3rd place out of 8 teams. Our girls ended up 6th out of 8 teams. We had 4 all-conference performers, Nate Sager, Ethan Olson, and Yariel Gaeta, and Avery Sullivan on the girls' side. So a great showing for us at Southwest Conference. And then, of course, the district meet, always the most pressure-packed meet for us, not knowing what's going to happen. We know that on the boys' side, we had the capability of qualifying for state. We knew that we had a very great chance of doing that, but obviously you've got to show up and do the work. We had a couple of young men who had been battling injuries all year who kind of put it all on the line for their team, and we ended up getting a 3rd place finish and qualifying for state. Ethan Olson ended up 3rd place at the district meet as a sophomore, actually beat by 2 seniors who were very, very highly ranked in the state, and so he ran a great race. And Yariel ended up 5th as a freshman, which is pretty unheard of at the district meet to have a top 5 finish. So those 2 gentlemen ran their butts off at that meet and led us to state. And then on the girls' side, every single one of the girls that competed ran a season best in districts, and as a coach, that's all I can ask for. We didn't end up with a state qualifier. Avery missed out by 1 spot, getting the 16th place finish, and I think she's already pretty motivated that next year that's not going to happen. Ran an amazing race, and we ended up with a 5th place finish, the highest finish that we have had in Gothenburg since 2009. So give those boys. That wouldn't have been possible without a couple of great young underclassmen runners that led us to that finish. Ethan Olson was a 15th place medalist, and again kept keeping our streak of medalists alive. With Will Anderson doing it the last 3 years, Ethan kept the streak alive and ended up with a medal. And Yariel came out of nowhere and ran a 19th place finish, just missing out on the medals. But a top 20 finish for a freshman. He was the highest freshman in the state this year. So. The great part about the boys team is we had only 1 senior on the team this year. 5 out of the 6 runners that competed at state were either freshmen or sophomores, and so I think it's safe to say that the future looks bright, and we've got a group of hungry young men who want to be holding a trophy here in the next couple of years. So I think that's definitely in the cards if we put the work in, and we've already talked about that. So I think the future looks bright. I think we're headed in the right direction. I'm going to call up some individuals here. These are our letter winners for this year, so I'm just going to name them off quickly, and then once we get everybody up here, I'll hand out your certificates. So when you hear your name, please come on up to the stage. Marissa Ackerman, Ryan Bogus, Gabrielle Aeta, Gray, Luke and Most, Jackson Nelson, Ethan Olson, Nathan Sager, Avery Solomon, Madison Smith, Isaiah Ernie, Shania Ware, and Alec Winnie. I also have some certificates to hand out to our state qualifiers. This is something that's provided by the NSAA for every state qualifier. And so these young men each get a certificate for their qualification. There you go. Parker. And Coach Reeves and I also sat down and talked about some individual awards, some things that really stood out to us. As we looked across the board, we had so many improvements throughout the season. We had kids who week after week were putting down personal best times, running faster and faster every week. We also had some kids who had a bounce back year. Last year was kind of a rough year for a few individuals. Kind of bounced back this year and showed a lot of leadership and a lot of grit. And so we kind of sat down and talked about some different things, and so we're going to hand out a few awards here for those individuals. If you guys will just come over here real quick and I'll hand you your medal. Our Newcomer Award, somebody who was either new to cross country or new to high school cross country this year, who really stepped up and showed us that they got what it takes to be a sweet cross country runner. And so our Newcomer Awards go to Yariel and Avery. Our most improved, this is always a difficult one, but sometimes an easy one. When you take a look at how kids have gotten better from week to week or year to year, we have some tremendous improvements, again, across the board from everybody. But these most improved really stood out to us. On the boys' side, this individual has been with us for the last several years and just seems to every year get a little bit better and a little bit better. And I think he made some huge strides this year. I'm looking forward to seeing him next year as a senior and what he can do, and that's Isaiah Erman. And on the girls' side, we had a late addition. I know she's not here tonight, but she joined us about halfway through the season, asked if she could be a student manager. I said, sure, you can help us out, and then I convinced her to start running. And I tell you what, after her first meet, she didn't know if she wanted to do it anymore. She stuck with it, and by the end of the season, she had shaved over 6 minutes off of her time, and that's Madison Smith, and so she's not here. And then finally, our MVP, or MVR, most valuable runner, if you will. This individual on the boys' side medaled at every single meet that we had this season, including the state meet. Put in a lot of work over the summer in the weight room, put in a lot of miles over the summer, getting better and getting better and getting better. And I really look forward to seeing where he and, of course, his teammates go in the next several years. But really stepped up into a leadership position for us, and that's Ethan Olson. And on the girls' side, leadership is something that can never be underestimated. The girls have, over the last couple of years, struggled with numbers. Last year, we weren't even able to field a full team at the district meet. This year, I really appreciated the leadership that I got from these individuals. They've had a lot of ups and downs throughout their career, from being state qualifier to I would say at some points hitting the bottom of the bottom as far as what they thought they were able to do. And this year they showed a lot of grit, bounced back, and by the end of the year, we're running at their absolute very best that they possibly could, run the season best. So I'm going to give two individuals this. Their leadership will be missed next year, and so that's Shania and Arisa. All right, and that is all for me. Thank you guys for everything. And today, softball.
Hello, the softball 2021 season. I'm just going to start off by saying we did finish season 21-13, and I would like to take you through a kind of a little play-by-play of all 34 games that we played this year. I do have, however, those of you who have me in class, I do have like 3 pages of notes. So what's that, like a 3 weeks worth of lecture? I'm trying to cut down right now as we speak. So, all right. I do want to point out some season stuff here first. Of course, we did finish as the district runners-up in one of the C7, I think, district. We also did finish in the top 10 in the Omaha World Herald's final rankings. And we have several postseason awards that I'll get to here in a little bit as well. The other thing I would just want to say on the school website with the records that we keep on with softball, a lot of them are, especially on the individual side of things, are like top 10 of performers since the program started. I want to say between team things and individual things, we had to make almost 50 additions to those records this year. So there was a lot of people. I'm not going to read through 50 things here. So I've got a few, but I encourage you to check that out. You might be surprised seeing your name on it. All right. For team records, though, here are things you will see when you go check those out for the most of as a team. The 2021 team collected 290 hits this year. That is a single season record. Didn't know we were this fast, but we had 15 triples, which is tied for a single season record. We had a game where we scored 20 runs, which is a single game record. And we had a game where we had 3 triples, which is tied a single game record. Some other things I want to mention here. I do want to go through a few individuals here who got into our record boards. And I do want to run through, I just noticed the last time we did this 2 years ago, I went through anyone who was a senior leaving the program who made it onto the record board. So I'm going to read a few things. Madison Beechall, you're going to see her name several times in the record boards. She's now 10th with RBIs in a season. She's 3rd with at-bats in a season. She's 10th for hits in a career, 9th in RBI in a career, 8th with runs in a career, and with 325 career at-bats, nobody has gone to the plate at Gothenburg High School more times than Madison Beechall in her career. Some others I wanted to mention because they've have jumped into the top 3 on season, which I think is pretty amazing. Tasia Holbein had the 2nd most hits in a single season of any player at Gothenburg. Was 3rd in triples for a single season, 3rd in runs scored for a single season, and 3rd in home runs in a single season. So that was a great year by her as well. Chloe Deharsh had finished with the second highest total of RBI in a single season. And the last one I want to mention is Hannah Devlin. These are all pitching related. 12 strikeouts in a single game puts her at third all time. 158 strikeouts in a season puts her at second. And her 272 strikeouts in her career as a sophomore right now is currently putting her at third on the all-time list and counting. And also she had 4 shutouts in a season, which is the second most in a single season. Like I said, there's a whole bunch others if you want to go check it out. I do encourage you to do that. But I'd like juniors are Chloe Deharsh, Allie Goad, Sarah Herkel, Tasia Holbein, and Haley Slack. Sophomores are Hannah Devlin, Brett Herrick, Aiden Riceley, Harley Schramm, Abigail Clement, Madison Streeter, and the freshmen are Andy Bassett and Bree Houchin. Okay, the next thing that we want to give out, we had the opportunity in softball to have our Southwest Conference all-conference meeting where we nominated and voted on a conference team, and we were fortunate to get 4 athletes onto that team. So I have the certificates for the Southwest Conference Award. They go to Madison Beechall, Devlin, Tasia Holbein, and Chloe Deharsh. Okay, and then the last awards we have to give out today. These are ones that we voted on as a team, and I would say I agree with them. I don't have any issues with any of them, and I fully endorse it. So, yes, people go to the medal. All right, first off, the first thing we voted on was an offensive play of the year, and it wasn't unanimous consent, but overwhelming vote. The play of the year goes to Bree Houchin for her home run against St. Paul. It was our only hit in the game. For the defensive play of the year, felt like it was a very pivotal moment in our season, and it was a hold your breath kind of play. But the defensive play of the year goes to Madison Streeter for her great concentration with the right field and left field. For the next one, I always think this is kind of a special one because you get a little more insight in what what the team's mood is and what they think. This one is, I would think, probably one means the most as far as coming from your teammates. This is for Teammate of the Year, which might mean different things to different players from different ages, whether you're a senior to a freshman. This one goes out to our senior, Madison Beechall. This next one goes, this one is our Most Improved Award. Kind of from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, and this one was a fairly unanimous vote as well. It goes to Molly Therian. Then we have two MVP awards, one for JV and one for varsity. Our JV MVP goes to Hayden Riceley. And the varsity MVP all I gotta do is say thank yous now, so if you guys want a round of applause. So I guess I'll just finish with the thank yous for the team and acknowledgments. First of all, Laila Harrison, Corey, in addition to everything Mr. Moravchik had to say about working the field and so much more. I appreciate everything you do for the team, for the girls, for me. Don't know what I do without you guys. So thank you very much for that. To our managers, it was nice to have managers again this year. For our team, it's great to get young people around the game, be part of the team that way. To our parents, family, other supporters who come to all the games. I know we don't always get the big crowds, but I will say you make up for it with passion, dedication, those types of things. And lastly, to the athletes, thank you for another memorable experience. I think I'm enjoying coaching softball more and more every year so far. I just hope that you continue to enjoy and love the game as well. Thank you. Next up is football with Coach Hayden.
Start off by announcing all the letter winners. These are in alphabetical order, all through the classes. Braden Anderson, Jackson Atterbury, Ty Bartels, Jake Birch, Austin Chestnut, Jackson Donald, Bennett Guyton, Wes Guyton, Sean Graff, Ty Hutz, Tucker Keeper, Cooper King, Jay Kogan, Kai Jurgensen, Bronson Long, Sean Mikes, Abe Mendez, Carson Rose, Maddox Richardson, Trey Rossell, Haley Riker, Creighton Riker, J.J. Smith, Zach Smith, Trey Stevens, Caleb Tamala, Braden Winners, Max White.
I got the easy part. These were the letter winners from the 2021 football season. This group represents all the way from a senior class that has put in a lot of hard work and dedication the last 4 years, all the way down to a few newbies, freshman letter winners this year. You don't have very many of those very often, but we've done a couple guys who thought we couldn't keep off the field. Coach Scott is doing the honors there. He doesn't read very well, but we can. I'm going to start talking while he's finishing. What you also should notice is there are 11 kids that start on a football team and on each side, and we have 11 kids that play a position on a special team. But you'll notice we've got 20, I believe it's well over 25 letter winners. It takes a lot of guys to field in a football team. And at different times, unfortunately, football is a violent sport. That's what makes it so fun to watch. But unfortunately, within that violence, some people have to miss time. I saw something this year that I had never witnessed before in my life, and it came and stuck in my face, a broken bow, a compound fracture. Said, I think I'm ready to go back in. I don't know what that is at age. I don't think so. Yeah, so, I've been around here for quite a while. I've never seen that before. But like I said, this represents some of the very best of Gothenburg, I think. You boys worked hard, and I'm going to have to sit down now so I can say other things about it. All right. I have a lot of thanks that I'm going to start out with. I'd like to thank Tom, Justin, Jerry, Seth, Jesse, Trent, Dustin, all the families for all the time we spend watching film. You cannot keep Max away from things. He gets what he wants. We're going to get him on the field, dude. We want to thank the families. This is honestly an honor and a privilege, and I just feel very blessed to have been able to do this, for as long as I have. This is a very special place with very special young men, and I just feel blessed and honored to allow you to coach here. So I appreciate that. I want to thank Mr. Moracek, Mr. Riker, Dr. Rhodes, and all the administration for all the help. I may not be the most organized individual in the world, and sometimes I just say, gosh, I have no idea where this is. I need help. So, and they take care of me. I have some managers. Kellen Strasser, he runs the show. When we get to practice, Kellen sets everything up and kind of tells us where to go. And Caden Smith. We have a couple little guys, Jackson and Jonathan, and Kellen and Caden. I have to keep those two in line once in a while. But again, it's great to see young kids that love to be there. We love to have them. What, Jonathan's a second grader? Third grade. Third grade? Good.
And when you're out there at practice for a couple hours, sometimes, things might wander. Attention spans. But, like I said, those managers, we use a lot of equipment. Football just requires a huge amount of equipment. And Kellen and Caden always have it ready for us to go. Wanted to thank them for that. I want to thank you, parents, again, for entrusting us with your sons. I want to thank you for mothers for providing us with food and snacks on games. We didn't have to take any huge faraway trips. Sydney, it's just 160 miles. Our 5 trips this year was considerably less than the 4 trips we took last year. But again, with this COVID thing, we went to places and couldn't find places to eat. So when the mothers came and said, gosh, we'll have something ready for the boys to eat after the game, what a great thing for us. It allowed us to get some food in them after a hard game and then get back down the road. So I thank you very much. Players, I want to thank you for your time and effort. Practice every day. I gotta be honest, I love going to practice. I just love going out. It's the best part of my day. Not to say that I don't love teaching. I enjoyed every one of them this year. Here we go. A short synopsis of our season. We played one of the toughest schedules around. We came in with a lot of returning experience, and I think maybe we were caught a bit unawares of what faced us. We were going to take on, I think by the time we played our 5th game, the total number of games that the teams we had played had lost. The number of games they had lost was 3. And that was by our 5th game, and that was the team we played 4th. St. Paul, who was the defending state runner-up or something like that. So, if you ever went to one of our games, you might notice these guys aren't the largest individuals in the world. Sean, you can flex all you want, but you're getting that way, bro. When we walked on the field, sometimes we spent a lot of time looking up. But one thing they didn't do is back down. And I thank you for that. We started off in a broiler in Cozad. It felt like it was 150 degrees in there. And we looked into the sun all night, and they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And we had 87 guys cramped up, and the minute they could stand I don't get that at all. But we played a very good team, a real good team, until we got a couple guys hurt. In Cozad, and we lost, dropped that game the last couple minutes. Then we ended up playing a team that very well might be the state champ coming here. And then we started getting some injuries. We started running into guys having to fill in for guys. And the downside is we lost one of our starters. The upside is we had young guys step up and want to take on that mantle and take on that challenge. And that's one of the great things you get to see in coaching is young men step forward. And we did that all year long. Every time it seemed like we gained a little traction, we get hit with a different injury or an illness. We still had a few illness issues throughout the year, but we stepped up, we towed the line every Friday night, and we kept fighting. We started this season 0-5. After 5 games, we were looking at the goose egg. And we had a team that was coming in here that was 3 and 2, 4 and 2, something. Again, stepped out on the field and went, my Lord, they've grown big out west. And they looked them right square in the pets. And took it good. Sorry, dog. No, we did. 6'8", 270. Come on. That dude was slow. Anyway, we played hard and we played well, and I felt like we improved each and every week. And, you know, for starting out 0-5, and you get an opportunity to kind of get mad from then on. And they did. They kept fighting. They kept coming back. And by the end of the year, we won 3 out of the last 4. We pulled out the last game at Holdridge over a team that was a lot better than what they had shown. And boys played great. They just had to kind of overcome some coaching errors. I'll take that. That was my fault. We should have had that one in hand early, but these guys kept making plays and kept staying in it and pulled it out. Like I said, a great group of young men. We have 2 academic all-staters. They were mentioned earlier. I think we had, if my memory serves me right, I think I had 15 other kids who were eligible. So to think that we only had, 2 kids make the grade, no. These kids, they're good students also. We have not picked the all-district team as of yet. Not really sure what we're waiting on, but those guys out west trying to operate on their own time. So, the only thing I have yet to hand out are the team awards. These were voted on by the team. Kind of pick it up when I call up your name. We vote for 6 different awards, MVPs and the most improved award, different positions. And this is the way the team voted. Most valuable player, offensive line, Kai Jervis. This is Kai's second year as our center. Cobra Kai is pretty tough. The MVP for the offensive back or receiver is Jake Bird. Jake is our spokesman. I'll move away.
We had a good season.
He always talks. The most valuable player on the defensive line, Madison Beechall. Maddox is the only 2-time captain, I believe, that I know of in football. We can still script that. Most valuable linebacker, defensive back. This is the kid who came up to me, a broken bow, and he was having a great game. And he came up to me and held this thing. He goes, "Coach, I think I broke my finger." I said, "Oh, a little blood, no big deal." And then I thought about it. I just thought maybe he cracked it down by the nail. And Landon came back to me and goes, "He's done. He's done." He goes, "That's not cracked, that's bone sticking through there." Oh. And then JJ comes up, "Look at this. I think I'm ready to go." You're going to the hospital. The MVP of our special teams probably is not going to be a surprise at all. This kid and his family has kicked here 12 out of the last 13 years. He's got 2 older brothers that he had to chase around and imagine shag all the balls for. I truly believe he's probably the best punter kicker in the state, and I'm hoping we get to go watch him continue this down the road once more. And the last one, this one is, we had 20 different kids nominated for this, and it's always kind of close voting, and every time I was going through the ballots, I go, oh, that's a good choice. Oh, that's a good choice. So I don't think there was a wrong one, but I really think this young man got better and better and better as the weeks went on, and halfway through the season, he really came on and kind of, I think, probably more up here than anywhere. But he played really well at the end of the year. Tucker Keith. By next year, these will be 6'3", 250. I'm all done. I believe we are up to Coach Mulberry.
At this time, I'm going to introduce to you the 2021 Sweet Volleyball team by class. At this time as well, they will be receiving their NSAA State Volleyball Tournament Participation Certificate. When your name is called, please come up to the stage. Freshmen, Callie Strasser, Joey Holland, Whitney Cotting, Olivia Kovac, Izzy Jewett, Abby Bassett, and Taryn O'Hara. Sophomores, Claire Everett, Ashlyn Richardson, Aubrey O'Hare, Logan Hilbert, Ava Wyatt, Laila Healy, and Reagan Flesh. Juniors, Kara Waskowiak, Kinley Strasser, Addie Wyatt, Captain Emily Cornwell, Haley Steuben, Emily Roth, and your seniors, Captain Carly Jensen and Kaylee Gilman. Carly and Kaylee, go ahead and step forward. These are the 2 seniors on our team, and on behalf of Sweet Volleyball, we would like to take this time and thank you for your time and dedication the last 4 years to our program. You 2 have grown to be amazing leaders and teammates, and it is evident that Sweet Volleyball is a better place because of you 2, and we wish you the best of luck in whatever your future holds. The 2021 volleyball season was arguably the best season in Gothenburg school history, ending with a 27-9 record. Those 27 wins tie the school record for most wins and our first trip to the state tournament in school history. This season didn't come without adversity and injuries. Throughout the season, we used 4 different lineups based off of those injuries. For example, the Harvest Festival tournament, we beat a state qualifying team in York with a lineup that we'd never used before based off of an injury. No matter the occasion, we had players step up in different ways at different times, all that were an integral part of our success this season. During the course of the year, We continued to battle every match we played, and we had a number of highlights this season, including runner-up finishes at the Cozad Invite, the Harvest Festival Invite, which that tournament in and of itself had 3 state qualifiers, a state runner-up, and 7 out of the 8 teams participating in that tournament with at least 23 wins. We were the Hershey Invite runner-up. We won the Hershey Invite JV portion. We were Southwest Conference tournament and regular season runner-ups. And the most important, we were the C18 district champions with a first ever trip to the state tournament. This year's group, not all the rankings are out by all the publications, but the one that we have seen so far, this group ends number 8 ranking by the Omaha World Herald. The theme for this season was Stronger Together, and this group of girls bought into this theme from the start of the summer, and they ran with it. We talked a lot during the season about being 23 strong, and that all 23 players on this team have a role, and not one role is more or less important than the other. And this group truly believed that and made that a priority in everything we did. And I think you saw what can happen when you get a group of 23 strong to collectively believe in one mission. And this group did a really, really good job of that. At this time, I would like to recognize those players who are our letter winners. Emily Cornwell, Clara Ebert, Kaylee Gilligan, Logan Hilbert, Carly Jensen, Aubrey O'Hare, Taryn O'Hare, Ashlyn Richardson, Haley Steuben, Kinley Strasser, Carol Wascovia, Ava Wires, and Addie White. We are now going to recognize those players who made it into our top 10 season records. As your name is called, please come forward and receive your certificate. Now making it number 7 all-time in service aces in a season is Taryn O'Hare. Number 2 all-time in hitting attempts in a season, number 2 all-time in good hits in a season, and number 6 all-time in digs in a season is Clara Ebert. Number 6 all-time in good sets in a season, and number 6 all-time in assists is Ashlyn Richardson. Number 10 all-time in good sets and number 10 in set assists is Aubrey O'Hare. And last, number 1 all-time in service attempts in a season, number 1 in serves made in a season, number 1 in serve receptions in a season, number 1 all-time in digs in a season, and number 5 in service percentage in a season is Emily Cornwell. We'll now hand out our team awards. These awards are also voted on by the players. First award is going to be Most Improved Junior Varsity Player. This also has 2 winners. I don't think she's here today, so we can talk about her a little bit. This girl, when she came in, kind of got the nickname Baby Giraffe, Pointer. She came in, hadn't played a ton of volleyball, and you could tell it was just a little raw. But at the end of the year, she came out and was doing stuff that she has a bright future. So the Most Improved Junior Varsity Player goes to Whitney Cottingham. Next, the next winner is Most Improved Junior Varsity Player. This girl, there were times in practice as coaches we would look around and just and talk to each other and say she was all over the place all the she continued to do it from the start of the season to the end of the season. She also has a bright future. Next winner, most improved junior varsity player, is Laila Healy. Moving on, 2 winners of most improved varsity player. I think this player improved tremendously skill-wise, and I think more importantly confidence-wise. I've never had a player hit 1,000 in a match, and she did that against Valentine. 9 swings, 9 kills, 0 errors. Never had that happen in my career. So this goes to Ava Wires. Next most improved varsity player. This player, I think, came into the season a little unsure of knowing how good she really was. And as coaches, we knew how good she was. And I think we found out really quickly as the season progressed that she became a highly effective attacker, a highly effective server. And if she continues to grow, in my opinion, has the opportunity to be one of the best volleyball players to come through this program. So the most improved varsity player goes to Taryn O'Hara. Most valuable player, junior varsity. I think this girl was a constant in the back row. I think developed to be a great leader for the junior varsity program. I think was looked up to by some of the younger girls. Junior varsity most valuable player is Haley Steuben. Most valuable player for the varsity team. I think she's coined the nickname of Team Mom. I think whenever I needed to know what time we were leaving or what time practice was, I would just ask Emily. So this year's most valuable player is Emily Cornwell. The next award also has 2 winners, and I think for this program, I think is the most important award. By the end of the year, I don't know if people were paying admission to watch us play or to watch these 2 on the bench. Either way, though, they were coming to the games. So this year, we wouldn't be the team we were without these 2, I promise you that. They provide so much for our team that doesn't really get on the stats. And we tried playing a tournament without him, and it didn't work, so we had to bring him with us. So this year's Best Teammate Award goes to Kara Wiskowiak and Addie White. It takes a large group of people to make a volleyball season happen. I'd like to finish by making a few thank yous. First and foremost, to our players. Your commitment and determination to be great did not go unnoticed. It's very rare that you get a group of 23 girls that just continually does the right thing, and this group does that. They continually do the right thing and continue to be great volleyball players, but more importantly, great people that have very, very bright futures ahead of them. So thank you. My assistant coaches, Coach Costello and Coach Stormbecker, and our spouses, thank you for putting in the long hours to ensure our season is successful. Both of my assistant coaches had incredibly exciting falls, not just with volleyball, but with exciting additions to their families. But they continue to be a mainstay at our practices and games and manage to keep sweet volleyball a priority in their busy lives. So thank you. We could not do what we do without you. To our student managers, Scout Bell, Riley Flesh, Addie Jessup, and Kimmy Foster, and to the parents, thank you for raising such amazing young women. During volleyball, we probably see more of your daughters than you do, and I can promise you one thing, you should be extremely proud of your daughters and how they handle themselves. both on and off the court. Also, thank you for organizing team suppers, send-offs, goodie bags, and food for all tournaments. Thank you. Charity Wyatt for documenting this season. I think it's such a special thing to see those photos after matches and after games. Thank you, Charity. Thank you, Joe Richardson, for keeping book. Thanks to Mr. Moravchik and the custodial staff. Volleyball tournaments and games take a large number of help, and we were able to host a large number of games throughout the year, and it would have not been possible without this group. One last thank you. I don't think that he gets mentioned enough. Trevor Gallus, thank you for putting a ton of time and effort into live streaming so many activities for the community of Gothenburg. I think we're really lucky that we're able to have that asset, and I think your time doesn't go unnoticed. And thank you again, Trevor. On behalf of Sweet Volleyball, we would like to thank everyone for the continued support throughout the year, whether that be on the road or at home. We have the best fans in the state, and we look forward to a great year next year.